The old man sat down heavily on the porch swing, sighing as he did so. His gaze was distant, as if he were looking at something far away in the fields of his ranch. In truth, he was lost in thought, thinking about a time long past, a time filled with sunshine and laughter, a time when life on the ranch wasn't just about survival. It was about living. He was a millionaire, but not the kind who flaunted his wealth. He lived in a simple house, wore plain clothes, and worked alongside his two loyal ranch hands, Jake and Joe. He didn't need much. A good day's work, a hearty meal, and a night by the fire with a good book was all he asked for. But lately, a deep loneliness had been gnawing at him. The silence of the sprawling ranch was deafening, and he found himself yearning for the sound of human voices, for the joy of human companionship. Then one day, a battered pickup truck rumbled down the long driveway, kicking up dust devils in its wake. It was an old Ford, its paint job faded and scratched, its body bearing the scars of countless miles. The old man squinted, his gaze unwavering. As the truck drew closer, he could see a young woman in the passenger seat, her face pale and drawn, her eyes wide with fear. The sight of her sent a jolt of concern through him. There was something about her demeanor that tugged at his heartstrings. As the truck came to a stop, the woman quickly untied a rope that had been keeping the gate closed. The moment it swung open, she rushed out, collapsing onto the ground with a sob. Startled by her sudden movement, the old man got up from his chair and walked over to her. Kneeling down, he gently asked her what was wrong. She looked up at him, her eyes brimming with tears. She stammered, trying to speak, but no words came out. Then, in a voice filled with desperation, she whispered, "Please help me." He noticed that she was wearing a leather collar around her neck, the kind used for horses. And then he saw the rope burns on her wrists, evidence of her being tied up. Her torn and dusty clothes spoke volumes about the ordeal she had endured. Without hesitation, he helped her up and led her to the house. Inside, he brought her some water and a blanket, tending to her as she slowly regained her composure. When she was ready to speak, she told him about the abuse she had suffered at the hands of her stepfather. She had finally managed to escape, but her ordeal was far from over. She had been on the run for days, hiding in the mountains, eating berries and drinking from streams, all while her pursuers were hot on her trail. He listened intently, his heart breaking for the young girl. He knew he couldn't just let her stay in his guest room. Her safety would be compromised if her pursuers found her there. No, he had to think of a place where she could hide, where he could protect her. His gaze fell upon the old barn, its weathered walls and dusty stalls a silent testament to a bygone era. He hadn't used the barn in years, but now he had a purpose for it. He led her to the barn, showing her how she could make a bed for herself in one of the stalls. He promised her that her pursuers would never find her there. And then he did something that surprised them both. He took off his jacket and, along with Jake and Joe, made a barricade of sorts, blocking the entrance to the stall with their bodies. They stayed there all night, not sleeping, but keeping watch over the girl. In the morning, when the first rays of sunlight peeked through the cracks in the barn walls, the girl woke up to find that her protectors had dozed off. She couldn't help but smile. Their gruff faces, etched with years of hard work and sun exposure, were now peaceful in sleep. She got up quietly, wanting to make breakfast for them. When the men awoke and saw the breakfast waiting for them, their eyes twinkled with gratitude. From that day on, they became her protectors, shielding her from her past and helping her heal. The old man, with his vast experience in handling animals, built a strong pen and corral for her, ensuring her safety. And most importantly, they gave her something she had been without for a long time: love, care, and acceptance.